We actually broke into regular programming earlier today to bring you the governor's announcement, though it was not surprising. He is suspending indoor dining. It begins Monday. Restaurants will still be open for outdoor dining and takeout. Indoor dining can continue everywhere else in the state. This does come as key indicators in the city, including hospitalizations, continue to rise. And today the governor broke down the source of the spread. Nearly 3/4 of infections in New York, he says, are coming from small gatherings at home. The governor said spread has dramatically dropped in places like gyms and salons. All this as New York State approved the use of the Pfizer vaccine. The first shipment could arrive as soon as Sunday, and the city is getting ready for the rollout as well. It will open its vaccine command center on Monday. We do have live team coverage. We'll begin with News 4's Andrew Siff in Elmhurst, Queens. Andrew.
David, really, we're talking about twin realities here. On the one hand, the COVID surge continues across New York City, across the state, across the country. On the other hand, the vaccine is arriving in just days. The problem is, according to the governor, it won't help overnight. New York State has now approved the Pfizer vaccine, a second layer of confidence days before healthcare workers and nursing home residents get inoculated. But today in Albany, Governor Cuomo cautioned it'll be months before enough people are immune to coronavirus.
Between today and June, that is a long 6 months.
The governor so concerned about rising COVID rates now, he's ordered an end to indoor dining in the city starting Monday.
We're asking everyone to hold on. You know, the end is in sight.
The economic hit could be devastating for an industry still reeling from the first wave, even with takeout and outdoor dining still open.
It's not enough. It's not enough. It doesn't cover labor. It doesn't cover rent.
For now, other sectors of the economy still open, as the state revealed lower transmission at gyms and beauty salons than previously feared. Out of 46,000 pieces of COVID data, the state found 74% connect back to small indoor gatherings.
The Vaccine Command Center is going to be the go-to location to make sure that the vaccine distribution is fast and effective and fair.
Meanwhile, Mayor de Blasio announcing this building across the street from City Hall will be the hub for city agencies trying to solve vaccine-related problems. Deputy Mayor Melanie Hartzog in charge.
An example of this could be as vaccines are not showing up to a certain community site. The command center would work directly with the provider on tracking down additional vaccines or directing patients to another location.
The vaccine tracking begins Monday, just as hospitals face a new order from the governor to stay under 85% capacity.
What's kept us going is knowing that there was a vaccine on the horizon.
And the Elmhurst Hospital CEO telling us that right now the hospitalization is rising steadily, but not overwhelmingly like it did in March and April. This hospital was inundated with COVID patients as it became the epicenter of the early crisis. Live in Elmhurst, Queens, Andrew Siff, News 4 New York.
All right, Andrew, thank you. And Governor Cuomo did warn this was coming, but the city's indoor dining shutdown is really sending shockwaves through the restaurant industry. Many owners, we've been telling you for weeks now, worried that they won't survive the winter. News 4's Gaby Acevedo continuing our team coverage live in Hell's Kitchen. What are they telling you, Gaby?
Well, Natalie, certainly not the news that restaurant and bar owners wanted to hear. Some were even grasping at the hope that the shutdown for indoor dining would not come until after the holiday season. Now they see the reality, but their main concern, having to lay off employees during such a tough time. Neighbors around Hell's Kitchen feeling empathy for businesses struggling to keep open through the pandemic.
It's been awful around this neighborhood since the pandemic. It saddens me that these restaurant owners have worked so hard.
The confirmation from Governor Cuomo on Monday's indoor dining shutdown in New York City has many restaurants looking at their outdoor dining spaces as the lifeline to survival.
People won't sit outside, you know, it's winter time, it's really difficult for them to sit down. So we're barely getting people indoor right now.
Ernesto Rodriguez has been working at Mamma Mia on 9th Avenue for the past 7 years. He is still haunted by the tough times he and his colleagues went through during the first wave in the spring. He says without government relief, the restaurant can't survive.
We're going to close forever. We already was like struggling. We're barely making for to cover the payment for the employees.
People in Hell's Kitchen point out private house gatherings are driving the surge in COVID-19 cases, not restaurants.
And make sure you're going with the people that have been in your bubble and have been in your circle. You know, don't meet a friend that you haven't seen in a long time. This is not the time to do that.
Ernesto and others in the food industry are now focused on making ends meet, counting on community support to get through a second indoor dining shutdown.
First thing, I need to be able to cover my rent. That's a first priority, you know. To have a job is to cover the rent. Without it, so I don't know what I'm going to do.
I do my best to support them as best I can. All of us here, we're trying our hardest to support them and keep them going.
Outside of New York City, Governor Cuomo says indoor dining, limited indoor dining, may carry on for now. The state will continue to analyze the hospitalization and surge in COVID case numbers and make a decision further down the road. Stay tuned. Reporting live from Hell's Kitchen, Gaby Acevedo, News 4 New York.